Hi everyone, welcome to Learning Curve Acres. So today I just wanted to continue talking about pots and sourcing pots, and today I'm talking more about recycling. Basically, if you're creative, anything can become a pot, a flower pot for starting seeds. This happens to be a plastic egg carton. Now, I've never bought eggs in plastic before, but one of the ladies that I give eggs to regularly, she passed this on, and at first I'm thinking, what am I going to do with a plastic pot? Or with a plastic egg carton. I don't sell the eggs in 24s, and I certainly don't use the plastic ones. But then I got thinking, and these are perfect for starting my little tomato seeds. What I'm going to end up doing is 2 rows of each for 3 of my varieties that I want to start. Then it's going to be great because it's got its own little humidome. It'll keep it nice and moist until they're ready to be potted up. So, being a little creative, there's no drainage holes, but I'm not going to be using this for the plants for very long. So as long as I'm keeping a close eye on things, and I am down here at least twice a day, this will be great. I won't need to worry about the fact that there's no drainage holes, because it'll just be a little bit of water if I add any. Pardon me. Just because it's got the cover on it. Another thing I like to use are, if you get the single-use, the salads. Sometimes if we don't have if we're running short on time, we'll pick up these salads. There's the larger ones and then some smaller ones. And again, these are great. I have lots of friends who use these, and it's easy enough to poke a few holes in the bottom, especially if you use this little tool here, which I've shown before in previous videos last year. But you know, really easy. Just, it's nice and sharp, so you literally just pop it through like that and it's done. I love using these to start herbs, because quite often when you're growing herbs, you're growing a little cluster of them anyways, a little clump of them. So I'll just broadcast a whole bunch of seeds in here, put the lid on, let it get started, and then when it's time to move them out to the garden, I literally just pop it over and into the ground, and it's super, super convenient. Again, because they have their own lids, you don't have to worry about the moisture too much. And the smaller ones fit, this size here actually fits quite nicely on some of my windowsills. So they can go directly into a window then, and I can keep a close eye on things, make sure they don't overheat. Other things you can use easily, takeout containers, and these are from like mushrooms. When you buy your mushrooms at the store, or sometimes other produce will come in them. Generally, you know, try not to, but sometimes our only option for buying our produce is in these plastic containers. So let's reuse them as much as we can. If you're buying drinks that come in plastic cups, by all means, recycle them. After all, these actually hold the same amount of dirt, and this gives a little bit deeper room for your root base. So I actually like these better. I know a lot of people will say, oh, you shouldn't have anything clear because, you know, the roots aren't supposed to be exposed to light. If you're that worried about it, as soon as you start seeing the roots, you can pot them on up to something bigger anyways. Generally, in my experience, by the time I start seeing the roots, it's almost time for them to be going outside. Another great thing for starting tomatoes, especially if you just plant a few, you're used to planting several and then pricking them out and separating them once they get a little bit established. Cookie trays. We all eat cookies from time to time. Some of them have really good trays. This one's a lot sturdier than this one, but they'll still, for a few tomatoes, they'll still work just beautifully. This happens to be from when I bought a Betta Fish, and I was looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, I can start seeds in that. And I look at everything that way. My husband now automatically asks when containers come into the house, whether it's yogurt containers or whatever, the first thing he does, he goes, am I washing these out to save seeds, or are you going to recycle these at the recyclers? And 9 times out of 10, especially this time of year, we're washing everything out for seeds. Now, another way of recycling and easy pots that we can use, pardon me, are these. I have a couple left over. They're a little squished, but I made a bunch of these last year. These newspaper pots. Literally, I just wrap the newspaper a few times around a can. I do have a video where I do that, and I'll put an iCard up top somewhere with that. But, you know, it's nice, it's easy. And then when it's time to put it into the garden, literally all I do is take off the tape, just because I find the tape doesn't break down as quickly as the newspaper. And just in the garden it goes, it's done. I don't have to worry about what's sticking around for the following year. So that was just a little quick discussion about some different things we can use for pots if we don't have actual flower pots. Now, I'm not saying I don't still buy more pots, because I find generally by the time I'm getting ready to plant everything out around the end of May, beginning of June, I'm out of pots. I am completely out of pots. And my husband can never believe it. I'm usually going, I was sure I had enough, but you can never have too many pots or containers to plant your plants up in. Well, I hope everybody is doing well and having a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.